On. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is your boy James. Welcome back to the How to Learn Data Science episode number 5. Today, we're just gonna keep going with the data camps, the iterator sections. We're gonna learn like how to do iteration in Python, and this is just one of the chapter in the Python Data Science Toolbox number 2. And here Hugo is going to talking about the comprehension or some iterate. Let's dive into it.
Let's say that you have a list of numbers and you want to create a new list of numbers that's the same as the old list, except that each number has 1 added to it. You could initialize a new empty list, loop through the old list, add 1 to each entry, and append all new values to the new list. But for loops are inefficient, both computationally and in terms of coding time and space, particularly when you could do this in 1 line of code. 1 line of code, I hear you asking? Welcome to the wonderful world of list comprehensions. The syntax is as follows. Within square brackets, you write the values you wish to create, otherwise known as the output expression, followed by the for clause referring to the original list. So, in our case, you open the square bracket, followed by num plus 1 for num in nums, and then you close the square bracket.
Wow.
This is a list comprehension and creates precisely the desired list. See here the relationship between the for loop syntax and the list comprehension syntax.
Oh, that's what
The power of list comprehensions is not merely relegated to the world of lists, however. You can write a list comprehension over any iterable. Here's an example of the list comprehension using a range object. To summarize, list comprehensions collapse for loops for building lists into a single line, and the required components are 1, an iterable, 2, an iterator variable that represents the members of the iterable, and 3, the output expression. That's it. You can also use list comprehensions in place of nested for loops. For example, let's say that we wanted to create a list of all pairs of integers where the first integer is between 0 and 1, and the second between 6 and 7. This nested for loop would produce the required result. The question is, can we do the same with a list comprehension? And the answer is yes, as follows. Once again, within the square brackets, place the desired output expression, followed by the 2 required for loop clauses. You may observe that while it keeps to a single line of code, we sacrifice some readability of the code as a trade-off. So you'll have to consider if you'd like to use list comprehensions in cases such as this. The more often you use this, the more you get used to reading list comprehensions. So readability may not be a problem for you later on. But do remember that others may have to read your code as well. Now you've seen a few list comprehensions, it's your turn to write some.
Let's do it. Got it. Write a basic list comprehension. Doctors, House, Candy, Chase, Stratton, the Wilson. How would the list comprehension would produce a list of the first character of each string in Doctor look like? I have no idea what he's talking about. Note that list comprehension uses dogs as the iterator variable. Let's just do it. The list comprehension is the for doc in doc. That's not looks right. Are we talking about like syntax? List comprehension is the doc there for doc in docs and the producer list. Didn't seem right. For doc docs. I think you can do this one. Oh, this one looks right. Docs in doc. Doc server, docs in doc, right? Oh, HCCTW. What's that mean? Oh, the first letter of this list. So HCCTW. I think it's number 2. That's how I remember. Yes. Next one. List comprehension over irritable. You know that list comprehension can be built over iterators, given the following object. Which those can we build list comprehension over? Doctor's range, Underwood, after all, were nothing more or less than what we choose. Jane, flash. We can build this list comprehension over all the objects except the string. Okay, what's that asking for? You can build, okay, which one's right? You know list comprehension build iterate. Give the following object, which are those can we build the list of comprehension over? So, you can build a list. Oh, let me set the string. I think we can do all of them. Oh, I think it's a number. We cannot do this one because it's an integer. Yes. So you can on the iterator string. You cannot iterate integer because integer is just one number. So that one guy, if you guys look at that, Van Jane, there's no quote, so it's an integer. So you cannot iterate that here. Write a list of comprehension. You now have a notice that today I'm just so higher accurate rate compared to yesterday. I mean the day before when I shoot the previous episode. I guess I'm just too tired. But always shoot video when you're not tired. But anyway, sidetrack. So we now have all the knowledge necessary to begin write list of comprehension. Your job in the exercise is write a list of comprehension that produce a list of a square of numbers range from 0 to 9. Okay, 0 to 9 as a variable. I in the iterator variable write a list comprehension that produce a list of numbers consistent with square's value of I. Square equals I for I in range. Those are like uh, let's say number 0 to 9. So how can including 0? The last is not included, so I should do 0 to. So the last index should not include it, so I should do 0 to 10 because 10 will not be included. Check SQUARES squares. See 0 to 9. Then U square each value of I. Oh, okay. Oh, square value. I'm sorry. I square squares. Now I'm getting right. Next one, list the nested list comprehension. Great. At this point, you have grasped the basic syntax of list comprehension. Let's push your code writing style a little bit further. In this example, you're writing a list of a comprehension within another list of comprehension. That nested list comprehension. Whoa, complex stuff. Oh, matrices is hard. So this is like 5 by 5 matrices value 0 to 4 in each row can be written as this. Your task is to recreate this matrix by using nested list comprehension. Record that you can create one of those two rows of the matrix with a single list of comprehension. To list the list of the list, you simply have to supply the list of comprehension with output expression of overall list of comprehension. And I have no idea what it's talking about because I'm reading that and to focus on that. So let's just like go with the flow, see if I can figure it out. So output expression for iteratable in iterate. Does that mean like you gonna test recreate a matrix by using as record? You can create one of the rows matrix with a single list of create a list of lists using perhaps to supply list of. Oh, okay. So it's a list comprehension with a list comprehension. That's what I understand. Is that so? List of a list. Huh. That's weird. So 5 by 5, so 0 to 4, right? And oh man, this one is hmm, it's called oh oh okay. So inside is the list comprehension, and outside here is another list comprehension. So two of list comprehension getting together, then become a loop, two for loop, like looped each other. I mean, one loop looped out that in the loop, which created like matrices. So here should be like in com in forget the syntax. Let's see. Is that the? Let's go back to see the syntax. I forgot. Oh, for I in range. Okay. Com for com in range. So this is 0 to 4 because you want to have 5 elements. So index 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 0 to 5. So it stopped at 4. And another one should be row because it's when the looping through the matrices, it's go with not each row, but other than to go through the column. And then it goes, I believe it goes through the column like column 1, row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and column 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, things in that nature, etc. So row for row in range, row to 5. Jeez, where my energy come from today? That's weird. Syntax arrow. Okay, so oh, okay, matrices. So like you want to have a column and a row. So this is oh, in that case, does that mean here should be row? That's a good question. Should I put a rows here or columns here? Okay. Let's see. So you test, I believe, like out persecution. So in basic matrices, like when you do matrices, it's supposed to be like a row first and then column. But here, basically, because if you have a two for loops, you need to have a one for loop, which is outside of the for loops, looping through the columns, and inside of the for loops, looping through the row. So this one should be row. Okay, so I did this opposite, I think, because this is the inner loop, and this guy, because here's the output expression for iterator in the interval. Let's see how it works, if that's a right way. So you in the row here, and then expression for each wait a second, I think it should be this way because each column you start basically here is 0 to 5, you start from first columns over here 1, right? And let's see, oh, tabs, okay, I'm being recorded, okay, we're good. And here like you start from the first column, and then like it's just a column 1, right? They're going, and here like oh, so you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, and then like this first row and then second row. Okay, so like in that way we do need to iterate the column first and then go row. Well, let's just say the results. Okay, not right. Is that because like a syntax? Oh, because here the row, if let's say its columns not show, and we just put rows over here, because that row is basically this expression. Yeah, this looks right. So if we do this way, it's become like you iterate from like columns, right? And then let's say like you go like, oh, let's iterate here, like cool, like column 1 2 3 4 5, and then you go, oh, this is the first row because it's 0, and second 1 2 3 4, etc. Let's see, what if we just do submit first. Ta-da, 100 points. What if we do some actual works here? No, it's not my repository. No, I don't should have this one, right? And then you just do like, what happened if you put rows here, and then just come, and you just do like matrix 1, right? Maybe I just comment this one. Let's see what's that looks like. Is that the same thing? Let's see, if we put a 6 over here, I expect to have uh, 0 column, 4 column, and 5 row. Let's see if it's right. 4 column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 row. We still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? How come? How come? Why? Why it's not changing? Let's see. I think we need to print matrix 1. Oh, okay. See, guys, let's drag this one a little bit up. We don't need that. Okay. Here. So if we set the row as 0 to 5 and the column as 1 to 7, right? And it's become like, let's clean it up. It's kind of messy. Control L. Great. Run the code again. We don't want to see this row here. Run the code. Clean it up again. Here. So we have like how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 to 7 is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six columns, right? And we have only, wait, how many rows we have over here? Oh, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 column. So 5 columns, we still only have 5 columns. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we have like how many rows if we look at in this way, because it printed out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows. So it's always go with like a column and a row, no matter like how you use the variable's name. So my theory is right. It's always with do column iterate and then go row. So because I should refer it to column, and then here refers to row, right? And then let's just do like 6 or 7 and see what's happening. Okay, so just like maybe like 4, right? Maybe just do 4. And here, when you run that, and then you will see, okay, so columns here we got like like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's five columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 column, and row like it's 4, 5, 6. 3 rows, 4, 5, 6. So when you use the list express comprehension, it just behave exactly as a 2 for loop, like 2 for 1 big small loop outside this big loop, and it's always come from like column iterate first and then go row. So very basic like statistic and computer science, but we often mixed up. So hopefully you get this point. So yeah, let's have some like some how many.
Now
like,
that you know the basics.
let's think about how long it has been recorded. Let's see. Okay, 19 minutes. How many? Like 29%. Okay, let's try to hit up this whole chapter and see if it's working.
Of list comprehensions. Let's check out some more advanced comprehension capabilities, such as conditionals.
Mm-hmm.
Here we see that we can filter the output of a list comprehension using
Oh,
a
okay.
conditional on the iterable. In this example, the resulting list is the square of the values in range 10 under the condition that the value itself is even.
Oh, okay. Can
If
divide by
you have
2.
not seen it before, the percentage sign operation that you see being used in the comprehension is called the modulo operator. We can look at the Python documentation to see how the modulo operator is used, and it shows that it produces the remainder from the division of the first argument by the second. Thus, an integer modulo 2 is equal to 0 if and only if the integer is even. We can also condition the list comprehension on the output expression. Here, for an even integer, we output its square. In any other case, signified by the else clause, that is, for odd integers, we output 0. Now, we can also write dictionary comprehensions to create new dictionaries from iterables. The syntax is almost the same as in list comprehensions, and there are 2 differences. 1, we use curly braces instead of square brackets. 2, the key and value are separated by a colon in the output expression, as we can see here. In this example, we are
Wow,
creating a
that's cool.
dictionary with keys, positive integers, and corresponding values, the respective negative integers. Now that we have a grasp on advanced list comprehensions and dictionary
that's very cool, though.
comprehensions, it's time to practice.
Okay, practice time, guys. Got it. So let's drag it down here. Using conditional in comprehensions 1. You have used the list comprehension to build the list of the values, sometimes using operation to create those values. The interesting mechanism is the list comprehension is that you can always create the list with the value that only certain condition, like if statements, obviously. So let's skip up that, blah, blah, blah. And the output expression, basically the first list comprehension for iterate variable in interval. And then this is goes with the if statements. Wait a second, someone's called me. I'll be right back. Is that the pause? I'll be right back. Wait a second. Hello? I'm sorry to spam. So output expression for iterate variable in iterable if the predictive expression. Uh, let's see. Okay, so what we have to iterate here is fellowship. We got okay, those all those guys and hard to pronounce the name for. Oh, so like new fellowship, guys. New fellowship for new fellowship in fellowship. If what's the condition? Member. So use member as a iterable variables in the list comprehension. Member. Member. Oh, okay. Here should be member, guys. Member for member. And if 7 character or more, length member equal to 7. Name member. Oh. So 7 character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Samwise Agrigara Lagolas Boromara. Yes. So here we go. Second one. Oh man, like this long. Keep doing that. We can do it. So this is the purpose I built this channel. I hold myself accountable, and I hold yourself accountable. If you cannot hold yourself accountable, I mean, I know it's hard, but let's do it together. We can do it. Woohoo! Use the condition in comprehensions. In the previous exercise, we use if condition statement in the predictable expression. Blah blah blah. You will work on the same list of fellowship and use a list of comprehension. The if else. Okay, we can do if else. So if I remember syntax. So if number blah 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 7 else replace it with the empty string that is okay nothing. We can do that. So still member for you just remember like here is the basically the how do you say that like it it returns variables name and just you just for and then repeat this guy again and imagine this is the variable it can just be one values in this whole chunk of list in fellowship if length member greater equal to 7 else I forget another way around like I think you can like do member if I think you can do this way around or another way around. Just put this part before four, and let's see if it's working both way. Else, just empty string, right? If something else. So this one, like syntax error, seems like it's not working. Else replaced with the empty string. So if I remember right in the tutorial, like we need to put this part in here before the for. See if it's the case. Okay, that's the case. So basically, if it's less than 7 characters, just replace to empty string. Remember, if it's if else, you're gonna put that part of like condition statement before the for. But if it's just if, you can put it at the end. So let's say, what if we just get rid of else and put this if over here? If it's if statement. Okay, so syntax error. So this is so weird for Python. I don't know why he just like just don't keep everything consistent. Just put if else at the end of this for, then people easy to remember. Okay, now I do member for and I copy paste member again, and then just to write the loop format, and then at the end just write the all the like if else statements. But anyway, you gotta remember syntax. So submit right. Next one, dictionary. Oh, hard one. Curly brackets dictionary always rather than like a just simple bracket. Create a dictionary like where the key is the string fellowship and the value is the string of the string. Remember to use the syntax of key and value. Okay, create a dictionary. Doo-doo. Print. So I guess like we're gonna do oh man, what's the syntax? Oh, okay. So I noticed that previously it's like you have this bracket, right? So this is for the list, right? But here, like outside it's dictionary. So you just change to this one. So you still do like member for uh, member in. What are we gonna do here? Key value. Okay, so here. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Let's see. See purpose member. Photoshop. Oh, okay. So for loop is in that. So here we should do. Is that doesn't matter? So key and value. I mean, I don't know this bracket like triangle bracket's purpose, but is that are we supposed to do like this for member in the fellowship? I think we should remove this. Hold on a minute, let's see. Values not present. Syntax error, like we shouldn't include in that. So use member as a error. Yes, I did. Oh, I didn't. Create the dictionary comprehension user key is the string in fellowship, and the value is the length of the string. Key is the string. Oh, man. But what I should remember use the syntax like length. I will use like the abstract like expression here. Member in length or member in fellowship. Let's see. No, let's see exactly. Okay, we need to. I think he's to put like fellowship or member. Okay, so obviously it's not right. Oh, okay, I see. So it should be range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys. So 6 here. Well, actually 7. Uh oh, okay. Sorry guys, member, and here should be range. Key should be range 0 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Wait, so the key value is the length of the string. But value should be length of the string. Oh, okay. Remember, read it carefully, guys. Don't rush like me. Always read it carefully what it is asking for. Because you spend waste a lot of time. And what's the key? Key is the string in the fellowship. So it's just member. So key is the string, right? The order is just okay. Dictionaries order you cannot control, and the value is just like a length of the each string. So, ta-da! Oh man, halfway
Now that
through.
you're getting a bit more comfortable with comprehensions, we're going to check out generators, which are related to comprehensions in a way that will soon become evident. Recall that this list comprehension will create a list of the first 10 even numbers. Now let's replace the square brackets with round parentheses and voila! Something called a generator object has been created.
Generator.
Now the question
Terminator.
on everybody's lips is, what is this generator object?
Yeah, what's that for?
Well, a generator is like a list comprehension, except it does not store the list in memory. It does not construct the list, but is an object we can iterate over to produce elements of the list as required. Here we can see that looping over a generator expression produces the elements of the analogous list. We can also pass a generator to the function list to create the list. Moreover, like any other iterator, we can pass a generator to the function
Let's
next in
go
order
back.
to
Sorry
list
about that.
comprehension, except it does not store the list in memory.
Okay,
It
not
does
in the
not
memory.
construct the list, but is an object we can iterate over to produce elements of the list as required.
Object.
Here we can see that looping over a generator expression produces the elements of the analogous list. We can also pass a generator to the function list to create the list. Moreover, like any other iterator, we can pass a generator to the function next in order to iterate through its elements. For the geeks like me, this is an example of something called lazy evaluation, whereby the evaluation of the expression is delayed until its value is needed. This can help a great deal when working with extremely large sequences, as you don't want to store the entire list in memory, which is what comprehensions would do. You want to generate elements of the sequence on the fly. Let's say that we wanted to iterate over a very large sequence of numbers, such as the integers from 0 up to 10 to the power of a million, or at least wanted to do so until
That's
another
all.
condition was satisfied. Look what happens when I tried to build such an iterable list using a comprehension on DataCamp servers. My colleagues disconnect me because the list I'm trying to create can't even be stored in memory. Be warned though, do not try this at home, on our servers or yours. Check this
Try
out,
that
however.
whole.
I can easily create the analogous generator object because it does not yet create the entire list.
Oh,
What's
so
really
it's not
cool
storing
is that
memory.
anything we can do in a list comprehension, such as filtering and applying conditionals, we can also do in a generator
That's some big
expression,
data
such
shit.
as you see here. You'll get a whole bunch of practice with this in the upcoming exercises. The last thing to discuss before you get coding is the ability to write generator functions. Generator functions are functions that, when called, produce generator objects. Generator functions are written with the syntax of any other user-defined function. However, instead of returning values using the keyword return, they yield sequences of values using the keyword yield. Here, I have defined a generator function that, whenever called with a number n, produces a generator object that generates integers 0 through n. We can see within the function definition that I is initialized to 0, and that the first time the generator object is called, it yields I equal to 0. It then adds 1 to I, and will then yield 1 on the next iteration, and so on. The while loop is true until I is equal to n, and then the generator ceases to yield values. This generator function can be called as you do any other function. Here I call the generator function with the argument 5. We see that it produces a generator object, and that we can iterate over this generator object with a for loop to print the values it yields. Generator functions are a powerful and customizable way to create generators. You'll have much practice with these in the coming exercises. Happy generating, friend.
Okay,
Us
so
before you get coding is the
before
ability to
that,
write generate.
did you guys
Keep
get what you
definition
just said
that
over
I-
here? What is yield? It's on. Oh, sorry, I cannot. So is that still recording? I mean, like, I'm not quite sure. Okay, if I understand right. Come back. Hello, I'm back. I think it's still recording. Let's see. Okay, still good. So I think this yield is basically my understanding over here, generated from value from 0 to n to 0. So it's basically just load 0, and then if it's become I become 1, it's just like not go back to here, I guess. It just keep going as 1. Oh, because it's a for loop, it's not going up. Have no idea. Like, let's see like how this yield go. Let's dive into it. List the comprehension, the generator, terminator. So basically, just put the uh, bracket to the parentheses, right? That's simple. Function general are not different at all. They are just different. Not saving the memory is kind of impressive. So generator is not saving the memory. List of the output. Sports reports is clay. List of generators, list of comprehension generator produce a generator object. List of comprehension produces a list as output that can be iterated over. A generator produces a generator that cannot be iterated over. Oh, okay. I think this is one. Generated object cannot be iterated over. Nope. List of comprehension list of output a generator object. Okay. Yes. So it's an object. Write your own generated expression. Create a generator that will produce a value from 0 to 30. Create a generator. So you just basically do this, right? I in range 30. Print first file. Print next results. I don't know, can I just do that? I think I need to do this. Oh, value. Rest of the okay. Did I do it right? I think so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the rest. Did you use 31 in our 30s? So range 31 is basically like 0 to 30. So 31 is not including. So it's um, so you can write it in this way, I guess, like 0 31. You just do range, and here you got this 0 to 31, right? Oh, okay, 0 to 31, so it's like 0 to 30, and it's 1 to like 0 to 30, I guess. Oh yeah, 0 to 30. Blah. Next one. Choosing the output in the generator expression. Choosing the output. Oh man, I'm tired. Hold myself accountable. Hold yourself accountable, man. Let's keep doing that. Write a generator expression that will generate the length of each string in Lancaster. Use the person as an iterative variable. Assign the results to length. Okay, length here. So iterator, just put the parentheses, and then what do you need? Like I for I in length. Each string in this guy. Okay, what is this? Length. Use person. Oh, okay. Person. Person. Length. No. Int is not iterable. Okay. What's the matter? Why it's int? Oh, because you are not. I'm not supposed to iterate its length, but its characters. So what should I put over here? I need this guy to be dynamic. And this one's hard. Let's look at the hand. But length of the string, man, like this. Um, oh, okay. So here I got it. This guy is not a single variable. It's a list. I forgot. Sorry about that, guys. So it should be like this. But I was curious like, how I loop through each letter. You guys tell me like how I loop through each letter of this string, like just iterate. I think in that case I need to have another. Let's do it exercise over here. Int is not iterate. What? So use persons are iterated like you generate length of each string. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it asked me to do, I think. So here is another iterator. Oh, I for I in. Man, is that right? I think it's too complicated. So basically you don't. I want to get the. I did this before, right? Like it's a couple of like. Let's go back. Don't remember. Lens member, member lens member. Oh, if I do lens for the oh man, like that's the way. If I do lens to the variable, that will solve the problem. For lens, that's the key person, right? In minister. Here, one, two, three, four, five, six, six. Ta-da! Good. Build a generator. Lens equals length for people. Okay. You will create a general function with a similar mechanism as the general expression you defined in the previous exercise. Complete the function head for the function get length that has a simple parameter input list. For loop function yield the length of the string. I didn't get this yield thing, like general function that yield. Get length. Did you guys get this like yield thing? Maybe I just remove that and say what happened. Yield so let's just yield is that length person, right? You should get length. It's not. Input list here. Here in here. Right. Seems right, but like I don't quite understand what this yield do. Let's go back to the video. Did you guys understand? Like, let's watch it together again.
Now that you're getting a mix out, however, I can easily create the next comprehensions such as filtering and applying conditionals. We can also do exercises. The last thing to discuss before you get coding is the ability to write generator functions. Generate of any other user-defined
Generate a
function.
function. Okay.
However, instead of returning values using the keyword return, they yield sequences of values using the keyword yield. Here, I've defined a generator function that, whenever called with a number n, produces a generator
say that
object.
again, please.
Generator functions are written with the syntax of any other user-defined function. However, instead of returning values using the keyword return, they yield sequences of values using the keyword yield. Here, I have defined a generator function that, whenever called with a number n, produces a generator object that generates integers 0 through n. We can see within the function definition that I is initialized to 0, and that the first time the generator object is called, it yields I equal to 0. It then adds 1 to I and will then yield 1 on the next iteration, and so on. The while loop is true until I is equal to n, and then the generator ceases to yield values.
Okay, so basically tell me is that it's just the simple for loop, but when you change the return to generator, I mean to the yield, it's basically like doing some like this generator things for you in this function, in this while loop in this case, and every time it's just gonna update itself to sequentially, because if it's become two, then three, then four. So if in that case, let's go back to here, right? If I just don't use this guy, let's see what will happen. I just remove this, right? So this is a simple a full loop, but the length of person. So every time I would just I get okay, then I think it's gonna break because what is person? I'm not passing the person to. It doesn't know what its person is, right? Let's say if it's an input list, I put it here. Define. Oh, okay. Should be in this way. Let's do that again. Let's make sure. Like I think this is the right way to write. First, check. Oh, okay. So here shouldn't pass in the person. I thought the person is the variable. Oh, you got to put the input list. Yeah, that's the input list. Person is one variable. It should be like this way. But if what I'm saying is that if you just get rid of this yield and run the code, no type object is iterable. Oh, so if you don't have this yield thing, wait, can I just do like this? Run code. Okay, still working. Still can submit. Okay, good. So what I'm saying that over here is like if it's no yield, you cannot iterate because person is not iteratable. Okay, got it. So we do have to yield in order to make it a defined function of generator and then do the thing. And I submit again. Simply, I just want to see the points. Next, wrapped up.
It's now time to apply your new and
Good.
hard-won
Almost
skills
there.
to the data science domain. In the following exercises, you'll use list comprehensions to wrangle important information from the timestamp data of real tweets. I want to remind you of the structure and syntax of a list comprehension. In its most basic form, it is enclosed in square brackets and is structured as output expression for iterator variable in iterable. More advanced comprehensions can include conditionals on the output expression and/or conditionals on the iterable. After you complete the upcoming exercises, I'll see you in the next chapter.
Okay.
Therein, we will not teach any new material. We'll be consolidating everything that we've learned so
Good.
far in these 2 Python Data Science Toolbox courses using an extended case study. This chapter will be dedicated to using the skills you're developing to extract meaningful information from a real-world dataset, the World Bank World Development Indicators dataset. Happy hacking and see you there.
This is the comprehension for timestamp data. You will make sure that you are learning from this chapter to solve the simple data extraction problem. You will also be introduced to the data structure penta series. Okay. You will be used the list comprehension to extract the time for the timestamp to read your data. Extract the column created add from df and assign to the result tweet time. Function fact extract the column tweet time here in service data structure. Panda series. Create a list of the comprehension that extracts the time for each row. Each row string to represent time step and the correct service entry. Oh, this is a tough step by step, right? So first, extract the grid at column from df. Man, how do I do that? I think you should use create and let's see how it looks like. Create at it's not defined. How about df? Good. This is a Twitter data, so it's kind of messy around. Like you don't actually have a column name by telling in this way. What do I do here? Create a column from div. Okay, extract the create the column from df. Extract create at for create at in cdf, right? Okay, so we get the column. Man, how to do that? Panda zeros. Oh, same shit. Tweet block time for. Is that right? Let's not think about that. Just do and tweet time. So how do we extract time? Use entry. Oh, okay. Sorry, use entry. Entry for time. Is that right? No, obviously. Have you used the correct iteration web for the first list comprehension? Make sure you use the correct name. Oh, it's a column, guys. It's a column. So, panda. How about that? No, looks right. So you got this guy in entry that you loop its row. Extract is of the extract. Extract time for each rows. Okay. Yeah, seems right. No. Tweet time. You will access 12, 19 characters. They're back. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, sorry. Oh, not here. 3. Oh, 4. Oh, 5. No. Man, I want the time, right? Time step. Oh, 12 to 19. He already told you me. 12 to 19 range. Entry. So I want to the string. Uh, can I just do like this? Yeah, I think I'm getting close. Third index. So 11 cannot be iterated. What's that? So string object cannot be iterated as an integer. How to get the entry as an iterative variable? How do I extract the syntax? Let's see. I just don't remember the syntax over here. I need to know the expression. So entry, right? And if I just do like 1, obviously it's gonna give me 1 range 12. Right? Python shell. Yeah. What is Python shell? How about that? String must be. Let's just see the answer. What's the syntax? Oh, I'm so close. Entry. So it's a list. 11 to 19. Wait, but I did this one. Why it's not working? Oh, okay. So the column is just this guy. Not iterated with the column, guys. Create a column. Entry is not defined. What are you talking about? Oh shit. Then both those things. Strings must be integer. Oh, that's what I'm missing. Should be 11. Ta-da! Here we go. Conditional times string, right? So you get that, and then you get you want the entry for entry a three time. If 17 to 19, okay, still 12 to 19, so 11 to 19, this one not included. If entry 11 to 19 equals to 19, three times. What is about 20? Okay, 19. This is forward. It's messing up right space. No. Have to be 19, guys. It's just a rule. Ta-da! Yay, we finished! So, hopefully you like this episode, and I see you next episode. Peace. I'm so happy.